This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, there's backlash to plans by Dunedin Railways to sell some of its heritage rail stock. A Dunedin company is developing an artificial intelligence device which could help improve the welfare of cows. And the splitting globe of death is ready to entertain Dunedin as the Moscow circus comes to town. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Dunedin Railways has announced it's putting surplus rolling stock for sale, insisting it won't affect any further business model. However, that claim is strongly disputed by local rail experts and has concerned some city councillors.
Taking stock of rolling stock. Dunedin Railways is planning to sell 6 former NZ rail carriages, along with 2 locomotives, a generator and guards van, and the bodies of 5 former NZ rail carriages. The announcement late yesterday surprised the Otago Excursion Train Trust. It's asking the council-owned company to halt the sale of the heritage assets, particularly as they weren't consulted about the proposal.
No, not at all. Not at all about it. We were led to believe after a motion that was made at a meeting, a city council meeting, that the assets would go into hibernation and be maintained until a decision was made by the council itself on the future of the railway.
The Otago Excursion Train Trust has penned a letter to Keith Cooper, Mayor Aaron Hawkins and Dunedin City councillors, claiming there are many inaccuracies in Dunedin Railway's proposal.
The carriages currently are fit for purpose, but they are uncertified for the main line, and that's because of Dunedin Holdings Venue's business plan on how they're running the trains over the mothball.
Dunedin City Councillor Sophie Barker has been supporting the team, advocating for continued rail travel around Greater Dunedin. She says she was blindsided by the proposal.
Yeah, I was really shocked to get the news yesterday that various items of the trains are up for sale. We haven't made a decision about what we're going to do with the train going forward. We want to save it, save the assets. These train carriages are worked on by many volunteers over many hours. Public money was raised for them. I think we need to be very, very careful about what we do with them in the future.
Dunedin City Holdings' plan to sell the publicly bought rail assets was revealed yesterday afternoon. Barker says councillors were told only minutes before the media release went out.
But we've been in the background, we've been waiting on work to come from council. We've been waiting on Enterprises Dunedin destination plan, which has taken a long time to come to fruition.
She wants the issue discussed at the next Dunedin City Council meeting in late January. Expressions of interest currently close with Dunedin Railways on the 4th of February, with successful bidders having until the end of that month to collect the assets. The chairman of Dunedin Railways, Keith Cooper, told the South Today he was unavailable for comment. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Dunedin mother said she was told by a bank it would only consider giving her a mortgage if she returned to work within 90 days of giving birth. She's one of a number of people who've encountered issues following government changes to the Credits, Contracts and Consumer Finance Act. The new rules were aimed at protecting borrowers from loan sharks. However, they've caused banks to more closely scrutinise the spending habits and personal finances of mortgage applicants. The Dunedin mother told the Otago Daily Times she felt shocked and discriminated against after ANZ Bank informed her of the tougher rules around maternity leave. Commerce and Consumer Affairs Minister David Clark has ordered an inquiry into whether banks have overreacted to the new lending rules. A Dunedin tech company is preparing for a big year and is aiming to go international. Called OmniEye, the company has developed artificial intelligence designed to help maintain the welfare of dairy cows on farms.
There's now a computer system that can help look after the welfare of dairy cows such as these. Dunedin tech expert Greg Peru is using artificial intelligence to keep an eye on cows to avoid lameness, which is joint pain and discomfort that can get so severe animals sometimes have to be put down.
Lameness in New Zealand is a big issue, particularly on dairy farms, In some parts of the country, such as the South Island, the prevalence can be quite high.
For busy dairy workers, it can be hard to spot lameness in its early stages. So to give farmers an extra hand, Peiru's company Omni-Eye has developed a computer to do the job.
All you need to do is put a camera on the farm, just install a small computer on farm, and it takes a few hours to set up the system. It's basically completely non-intrusive.
The system works by mapping tens of thousands of data points across each cow as the animal leaves the milking shed. The data's then analysed by computer, which uses artificial intelligence to pick up the anomalies in a cow's walk. Southland dairy farmer Matt Hamilton has been trialling the system. He says it lets him identify and rescue animals that are becoming lame much earlier.
It's giving us real-time live data relating back to the motion scoring, giving us that early detection that we're looking for, rather than cows getting lame and we're seeing them when it's too late.
The technology is already on several New Zealand dairy farms, with the company aiming to expand into Australia and the United States later this year. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Work has finally begun on constructing a new two-lane bridge across the Clutha River at Beaumont. The new $25 million bridge in the inland Otago is being built by Christchurch construction company HEB Construction. At almost 200 metres long, the bridge will be constructed of curved steel girders and sit about 12 metres above the average river level. The old bridge dates back to 1887 and will remain for use by pedestrians and cyclists. The building project is expected to take about 3 years to complete. The Great Moscow Circus has hit Dunedin, aiming to wow locals with an acrobatic and adrenaline-filled show. The circus attracts all sorts of thrill-seeking performers, and for one motorcyclist, the circus is all they know.
For performer Ivan de Souza, the circus is in his blood. The 30-year-old is the son of two circus performers and has spent most of his life either entertaining crowds or being in them. He's tackled a variety of performing roles as part of the Great Moscow Circus. But Dunedinites will get to see de Souza riding his motorbike in the popular stunt, the Splitting Globe of Death.
It's pretty much like a metal sphere, right? And it kind of splits in half. So most of the globes are they're like just a solid globe, but this one we split in half, like to make it everything like more fun for us.
The Globe of Death attracts a crowd no matter which country the circus visits, and de Souza loves it in spite of the danger.
Oh, anything can go wrong. Like bike can go wrong. Like if you get a flat tire, it's a certain crash. Yeah. Forks can that happened to us before. Like the fork seal can pop, and then it goes oil everywhere, and there's nothing we can do. Like you just crash straight away.
But after a life around the circus, he can't imagine doing anything else.
I had like a year living in a town, and that was not for me. Like I just couldn't do it. Like I'm used to this. Every, let's say 2-3 weeks, pack everything down, move to the next town, set everything up again.
The action gets underway under the Great Moscow Circus's big top from Wednesday night until the end of January. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whaiakane is still to come on the South Today. A proposed large-scale data project for Southland, and a Karatani local captures a strange and uninvited guest on security footage. See you and them after the break.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
You're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life. Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
No mai no, welcome back. A major project which should cost up to $2 billion is being proposed for an area north Makarewa near Invercargill. IT company DataGrid wants to build a huge data storage centre which would require large power supplies. The plan would use hydroelectricity from Manapori, picking up the slack after Tiwai Point aluminium smelter closes down. Up to 700 jobs would be created during the construction phase, with at least 25 direct jobs in Southland once the cloud computing centre is up and running. The region was chosen due to its access to sustainable hydropower, cool weather and a safe environment. 40 years of a community-run sharing competition have been celebrated near Lumsden. The Northern Southland Community Shares was held at a Five Rivers woolshed owned by the Selby family, with 7 national sharing and wool handling titles on the line.
A $9,000 prize pool attracted more than 30 competitors to Lumsden to take part in the annual Community Share event. But that's half of the number which ended last year's competition. Shares Committee Treasurer Jenny Campbell believes continuing uncertainty around COVID-19 caused the dramatic drop in the number of people travelling south to take part. The cancellation of the Winton AMP show could also have been a factor, with sharers often competing at the community event before lining up for the big show the following day. Despite the low turnout, those who did compete were enthusiastic and keen to return next year. Invercargill's Nathan Stratford took out the open sharing final. In the senior final, Braden Flyford of Waikaka claimed the win. Gore's Emma Martin won the junior wool handling, also taking home a $500 gift from Merino NZ to attend an elite wool industry training course. In Lumsden, the South Today.
Residential security cameras have been known to capture all manner of unusual things over the years. But a Karatanu resident recently captured an unusual intruder on camera on his home security. John Molyneux's outdoor security camera caught this large visitor waltzing up his driveway in a small seaside settlement. He was working upstairs at the time but knew something was up when his dog started barking a warning. As the roughly 7-year-old sea lion lumbered up the drive, Molyneux made sure his trusty hound got out of harm's way. He says the large animal checked out his courgettes before making its way back across the street and into the sea. The Department of Conservation recommends people always give wildlife their space. The Sea Lion Trust says there are about 10,000 sea lions in the general population, with about 350 residents living on the mainland year-round. Some of Southland's top rams went under the hammer for thousands of dollars yesterday at the annual ram sale in Gore. The top price of the day went to a Texel ram, but it was the prized Perrindale that attracted the attention of a North Island farmer.
Going under the hammer for thousands of dollars. About 150 rams were auctioned at the annual Perrindale and Cheviot Two-Tooth Ram Fair at the Gore Showgrounds on Tuesday. A top price for a Perrindale of $15,500 went to this ram, bought by John Henriksen from Pongaroa, south of Hastings.
I thought he was the best. It was either him or one of the others from that stable, sort of, and which was actually the other one was the People's Choice one, and but I decided to go on this one.
The ram was bred by Annabelle Tripp of Snowdon Station in Canterbury, who also sold two other rams for $9,500 and $12,000.
Well, I guess on the day people are looking for specific things for their stud, and obviously our rams suited what they required. Obviously we put a lot of time and effort into breeding them, so I guess we're just really happy that people like what we're breeding.
Tripp has won many awards for her Perrindale and Suffolk sheep studs and says the ram auction in Gore is a highlight of her year.
We love coming down here. It's a great place to showcase the Perrindale breed, and there were some really good sheep here today, so it's a great way to market our sheep, and also everyone supports each other at the sale, so it's a really good sale.
A Texel ram from Riverton sold for even more at the same auction, fetching $20,000. In Gore, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a hardware man is going back in time to compete in this year's Coast to Coast, and we have the late week's weather for you. Hei koko aki nei.
Hi, I'm Eden Carson from the Otago Sparks, and we'd love to see all your support down here at the Uni Oval this summer.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Hoki mai noa. A Lake Hawea man is planning to compete in this year's Coast to Coast race using equipment and clothes dating back to the race's inaugural event 40 years ago. Matty Graham has managed to source a bike, a kayak and even running shoes that are authentic to the early 80s.
35-year-old multi-sport coach Matty Graham is planning to compete in this year's Coast to Coast multi-sport race. But he'll look a little bit different from some of his sponsored rivals, kitted out like the very first competitors in the long-running adventure race. The Lake Hawea athlete is doing it to celebrate the event's 40th anniversary, even finding this old 10-speed bicycle from the era.
It's very authentic in terms of being what it was in 1983. It's fully steel, so there's no carbon fibre or even aluminium on this. It's all steel. Friction shifters down here compared to the ones that are up here now, or even electronic shifters.
The first event saw just 25 hardy souls taking part in the gruelling 250-kilometre challenge crossing the South Island. The course includes 70 kilometres down to Waimakariri River, and Graham has also sourced a kayak that's authentic to 40 years ago.
It is about twice as wide and half as long as a lot of the kayaks these days. No rudder on it either, which is every kayak now has a rudder on it for multi-sport.
And he's expecting the lack of a foot-controlled rudder to add to his challenges during the race.
It paddles a bit like a bathtub. It goes really good when you're in deep water, deep flowing water, but as soon as it's flat and you've got to keep it going in a straight line, it's not the best.
One of the items he was most concerned about locating was a pair of authentic 80s running shoes, but he's discovered New Balance are putting out a retro version from that era.
So they're pretty basic. These are the actual casual shoes now. I've taken them through Goat Pass once. They don't have much grip on them, so they stick to the boulders pretty well. But all in all, I was expecting them to be a lot worse than they actually are. They're not too bad.
This year's Coast to Coast is scheduled for mid-February, with Central Otago multisport pioneers Joe Sheriff and Steve Gurney also planning to take part. In Lake Hawea, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. There's been strong backlash to plans by Dunedin Railways to sell some of its heritage rail stock. A Dunedin company has developed an artificial intelligence device which could help improve the welfare of cows. And the Moscow Circus is ready to entertain Dunedinites with performances including a splitting globe of death. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Associate Editor Joe Simpson. Kia ora, Joe. How you doing?
Hi. A decision to keep the popular one-way traffic system through central Dunedin is being fought by the City Council, so we have information on that.
Okay.
Netflix Romance The Royal Treatment, which was filmed in Otago, is being released internationally tomorrow.
Yeah, could see a few familiar faces.
Indeed, yeah, maybe, yes. And we also have Under the Vines premiering here on TV ahead of filming in central Otago. Second season of Central Otago.
Great, Joe. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, a grey, moody sky hangs over Dunedin Railway Station. Looking at the situation, a cool southwesterly airflow continues to carry showers to the coasts tomorrow and Friday, although it's mostly fine inland. Starting in the northwest of the South Island, 18 degrees and a bit cloudy in both centres with a risk of showers in Greymouth. And the inclement weather finally threatens the top of the island. Still warm though, 21 or 22 degrees. Mild in Canterbury too, 17 or 18 degrees. And while Kaikoura and Christchurch are both wet, Ashburton should escape with just a few spots of cloud. To the deep south now, all the towns here can expect some fresh southwesterlies with a few showers and a high of just 15 degrees. And to the central lakes, moderate southwesterlies and fine weather for Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra with highs of about 16 or 17 degrees. Te Anau can expect fresh southwesterlies with a few showers and a high of just 14. In the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect those fresh southwesterlies with showers and highs of 15 or 16 degrees. Moderate southwesterlies inland, Twizel and Marama are both fine on 17. In Dunedin, the showers should clear for a time tonight as those gusty southwesterlies ease, an overnight low of 11 degrees. Further showers are likely tomorrow morning, but they'll disperse as the day progresses. Those southwest winds are back with a high of 14 and a low of 10. And similar Friday, morning showers lighten while the southwesterlies persist, a high of 15 and a low of 10 degrees. And in Invercargill is much the same, southwesterlies blowing across the week while the rain comes and goes. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 10. Showers tomorrow and overcast on 14 and 19 tomorrow, and early showers should clear on Friday with a high of 15 and a low of 9 degrees. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.